Should have been the cold open.
Well, this should have been the cold open. We were going to start live, but they couldn't stop me from muttering to myself, man, those white boys are cold. Psychos and sickos unite for a damn it's late edition of the PHNX Suns post-game show. Of course, brought to you by our friends over at Bet365. Sign up, use code PHNX365, deposit 10, place a bet for 5, get $200 in bonus bets. I'm Eric, that's Gil. We got Espo, Steven, and the Freckled Mamba behind the Mac, making all of the magic happen as your Phoenix Suns walked away from Portland, a one-game road trip ending with one victory, 130-125. Huge shout out to everybody who's still showing out in the chat. It's nearly midnight, but we've got Russell, AJ, Deborah, Optical Illusion. We got Pat, Aaron, Damari, Tubby. What's up, everybody? Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button for the boys staying up late, doing a post-game show, and of course, all of you being here as well. We'll have some news on a new shirt a little bit later, so make sure you're tuned in for that. But gentlemen, they made it worth it. We stayed up late, and the Suns pulled out a win, surpassing their preseason over-under February 3rd.
They said it couldn't be done. They said this team was going to be in the bottom of the West. They said this team hammered the under at 31. Well, guess what? The impossible has happened, and there's more to come.
They said, how is this team going to play defense?
Bill.
They said, who is going to play defense on this
Said
team?
none of them.
They said, how are they going to exist on offense?
They said they wouldn't.
They said, how is this team going to win games in the gauntlet that is the Western Conference?
Only with Devin Booker scoring 50 a night.
And our response was,
Ha!
I think that's exactly
I
what
think how is exactly what I was thinking in mind, but I was also going to say, just watch the games. Watch the games. Hopefully the engagement you got off of Lion in preseason was worth it.
They also said, how is this team going to win without Devin Booker and Jalen Green when they're down 19 points in the first half, and the team they're playing against is red hot from beyond the arc? And the answer was
2 white boys.
yes, and RELAX,
Yes.
and just let the game play out.
Yes.
And let this team do what it does.
Yep.
And they did what they do.
They did what they do, which is also now move up to the 6th seed in the Western Conference.
Woohoo!
Obviously, it's still early, but the Suns are 7-3 in their last 10, and really importantly, also coming off of a pretty rough game against the Clippers. And I feel like this team has continued to prove that when they get knocked down, they just get back up and they fight. They did it in this game on a micro level. They've done it on the season on a macro level. And we were talking about it either right after the watch along ended or right before it ended, where Gil, you're like, we can't take this team for granted, man. We've all watched so much basketball, and this team let up 40 points in the first quarter, and all of us were just like, they're probably going to do something about it. Even if they don't win, they'll make a comeback. Like, that's special.
Right. That's the fun thing about this team, and that was something that you picked up on this team pretty early in the season. They play hard.
Mhm.
They're fun to watch. We talked about like being like a league pass side piece team, Espo, but like this is like the team. I mean, tonight, this is in front of a national audience. Those who were brave enough to stay up late and watch this game were treated to a pretty good game. They got to see guys like Collin Gillespie have a big game. Mark Williams continue to play, have a big game. Jordan Goodwin set the bar for what blue collar is. Like,
Again.
there's so many things that this team does that make them so fun to watch. In the top of that list, chief among those things, is they play so damn hard, man. And like, you can't, like, that's a skill. Playing hard is a skill, and you can't put a price tag on that.
We were your primetime side piece tonight.
Hey, right, I was going to say, all y'all that had them as a side piece, y'all better commit because they're not side piece. These are main pieces right here.
Put
They
a
get
ring
after
on
it.
it.
Yes, that part. They get after it, man. They're demanding your attention. They just find ways to get these wins, and this can't be overlooked.
It's not a wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. This is the real thing here.
I just want you guys to keep going back and forth. That was electric.
Oh, yeah.
We have Kevin Moley, 1955, with a $10 super chat. What's up, Kevin? Holy moly, what a super chat. Says double night. Go Suns. That's right. 3 players with double doubles. Collin Gillespie, Mark Williams, and Jordan Goodwin. We're going to talk about all of them before we get too far into this post game. I want to let everybody know who wasn't watching our pregame, who wasn't watching our watch along, that we have a brand new shirt here at PHNX Live. Right now is the Villain, VILLON shirt that you can get in all sizes. Help support us. If you want more shirts, like a blue collar shirt, maybe a Jordan Ott shirt, whatever it is, we got to sell this one. So that is live. Ayrton's going to be putting the link in the chat. And my question is, where the hell is the boss? Because a new chat figure called The Boss emerged during the watch-along, who was an instant fan favorite and promised to buy a shirt if the Suns won, and I want to know if The Boss is here and has held up his end of the argument. I want to know.
He's back at the liquor store.
He might, honestly, we took a little bit of time to get live because we had to switch over to this setup, but he might.
Buying time for bro.
That's really he might have gone and bought another bottle of whiskey. But
hit that like button. Come on.
Yeah, Buddha's asking, how do we not have dog emojis? Look, we're doing our best over here. Okay, we're doing our best. You got to become supporters members. Yeah, Eric's saying become more supporter club members here. You hit that join button because you all already hit that subscribe button. So hit that join button as well and become a supporter. Get access to exclusive emojis, exclusive content, and a prepaid super chat for every single month that you are a supporter. We all support this Phoenix Suns team. Not only did they start slow and then come back, not only did they all have double doubles, but we had a historic performance tonight. Let's just dive into our dude of the night, presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details. Collin Gillespie in 33 minutes tonight put up 30 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds on 8 of 14 shooting from deep. Why not add 3 steals in there as well? The first player in Suns history to drop 30 points, 10 assists, and hit 8 threes in a game. Steven, this guy has not just proven himself to be an NBA player. He has proven himself to be a plus NBA player and only seems to be getting better.
Yeah, that's very true. His presence is one that's as valuable as anybody's on the team, and it's because of how he wears the kind of tough qualities that he provides. So teams try to crowd his dribble. He's gotten tougher and kept his handle alive, which has allowed for him to explore space and kind of experiment and engage guys a little differently, which is opening up the floor for some assists. Defensively, he's just a pest that also knows how to provide impact past just being pesky and just being a solid defender. But I think the highlight of today's game is the 2-man game with him and Oso. I will continue to mention it's not just the pick and roll or the handoffs. When Collin is seeing that Oso has a rebound, playing to Oso's strengths, which allow for them to play faster, Oso can just grab and go, gets them into their offense quicker. Collin's getting ahead of him on the same side of the floor. Quick inverted pick and roll. If that's not there, he just goes underneath it, and then it flows into a handoff going towards the sideline. He got like 2 or 3 threes off of that in the first quarter alone. And then after that, now they start getting into some of their traditional pick and rolls and things like that. And Collin's just coming down, knocking off pull-up 3 after pull-up 3. But that also is now extending to when he's playing with Mark Williams as well. Not in a transition sense, but in the half court. Playing in pick and roll and playing in get action off of Mark Williams. Again, this team just finding new layers and new pace and new tempo to play with. It's very important for them to find these pockets without Devin Booker and without Jalen Green, because now you can imagine what the big picture looks like. You get everything that those two guys do on the ball, and then maybe it goes to the second side, or it's in a lineup without those two guys, and you're getting the fruits of this type of labor. These reps matter. This team winning games while also finding their groove that way matters as well. Also, 26 assists for Collin. 30 points, 26 assists. 56 assist points today, or 56 total points with the 26 assists. That's, I think, 43% of the team's offense tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of pushed through that wall that I think he had hit, because he hasn't played this many games, this many minutes in his career. A push through that tonight was that guy that we saw about a month ago that was taking over games, and he's right back there. Hell of a performance for Collin, and well deserved to be due to the night. Probably deserves 2 or 3 of them with how he played.
That's the thing so much you talked about it, Steven, the two-man game, because it wasn't just Collin making life easier for Oso, as you talked about Oso making life easier for Collin. And those guys, it was like 4 or 5 possessions. You talked about it during the watch along. You're like, yeah, Collin assisted Oso, Oso assisted Collin. It was like they were trading back and forth doing that. And that was a big part of this team starting to scratch and claw back. Outplayed the Trailblazers flat out between the second and fourth quarter in this game. And Eric, I know you were kind of joking a little bit when you said, Steve, but like, you know, you and Espo have watched more. So see, you and Espo have watched more Suns basketball than a lot of people. And I want to ask you guys, like, you know, we see him talking to Steve Nash in the gym at practice, and obviously when Steve Nash talks, you listen. But like, the similarities are like kind of hard to ignore. And like, have you seen anything like he's doing things that haven't been done before in a Suns uniform?
Yeah,
like you have to acknowledge that.
Here are Suns players who record 8+ assists and 8+ threes in a game. Devin Booker, Steve Nash.
Predictable.
And Collin Gillespie.
Welcome to the club.
That's it. Three players in Phoenix Suns history. A Suns history, Espo, that is full of not only great shooters, but great guards as well. And to be on the short list that only Book and only Steve Nash have been on, as a guy who's playing his first full season in the NBA, it's just so nice that the Suns found a gem that another team gave up on, because I've said it so many times before, it's always felt like it's been the other way around, where we've given up on young guys too early and they go find their way somewhere else.
Well, yeah, Brian Gregory's like one of those dudes that wanders around the beach with the metal detector, and he just kept finding guys. Collin, yeah, we'll keep him. Jordan Goodwin, sure. Jamari Bouye, yeah, why not? And Collin, it's certainly now. Some of the Steve Nash comparisons are slightly premature. We'll wait until he gets the
like
first
Steve
MVP.
Nash who can play defense.
He's Timu Steve Nash,
kidding,
right? But you can see Nash's influence on what he's been able to do with some of these moves, some of these things that we didn't necessarily see last year from Collin that he's integrating into his game. Some of the reads that he's making with these passes. I mean, you can speak to it firsthand, Steven, but you see Collin and Steve at practice off in the side discussing things. Collin, I think, is like a sponge with him and is picking up on a lot of these things.
I mean, as you should be.
I
Steve
hope.
Nash is, yeah, he's. I don't think Collin's left a stone unturned in terms of leaning into Steve Nash as much as he possibly can for the critiquing of his game, the assessing of his game, and the ways that he can kind of just extract value from just having that literal shoulder-to-shoulder relationship with Nash. He said they've watched film together multiple times. And he said a lot of times he's really talking about hammering home the multiple speeds, playing at different paces in the half court, and then the kind of manipulation of angles. So, like, you might have a certain angle, but the timing with which you take it at different speeds is going to trigger a different advantage. So if he's coming off of the baseline and he finds that he has the big engaged while the person trailing him is still there, now that's opening up opportunities for those dump-off passes because the 5-man is unattended. Same thing in pick and roll. If he's coming off of a screen, but instead of just using it right away, he throws one quick move in there to kind of delay the anticipation of the defender. Now the defender is trying to figure out how to catch up. And now you got free reign to go either direction. And now you've opened up the pull-up 3 on the other side if the big is in drop. I think those little moments where you can see the game kind of slowing down for him a little bit, but it's because of how he's approaching it, how he's manipulating it now, that's really putting him in a position to have this type of impact on the team. And I think that, I mean, we all saw what he did at the end of last season. This still is so much far advanced than what we saw. Because last season, it was a lot of catch and shoots, pesky defense. Now it's pesky and impactful defense, and pick and roll play, and 2-point creation, and assists. He's been really good for this team this season.
Not only am I excited about Collin Gillespie, but Gil, the boss is back.
And I was right.
He went to the liquor store.
He had to run to the
boss. Is
it must
back.
be like right downstairs for him. That's like his second. That's like his second
store.
trip tonight, man. Listen, Shout out him though.
Let's go, dude. I don't think you understand. I've literally already asked where you were so many times. I'm so happy. We've talked.
This is my new favorite character.
This is great.
We joke that there's like an extended universe when it comes to a program like this.
Yeah.
Boss Man is now like my favorite side piece character.
He's awesome. We have so many great characters in chat, but when we like add a new one, it's so rare that it's just like instant, like
the last Infinity Stone we just
it's
got.
literally, I don't know if anybody has just instantly been in here. Boss Man, aka the boss, says, "What's up, boys? Is this a brand new room?" Brother, you got us in our watch along setup. Now we're back in here in the main studio, which will be back here at 3 p.m. tomorrow to do a trade deadline primer.
That's today.
It is
today.
I guess, yeah, it's past
will
midnight.
blow your mind.
We have another
There's
studio.
another one over there.
He's gonna
Another
be
one.
in the other studio in 11 hours.
10 hours and 54 minutes to
Wow.
be exact.
So we've got quite a few studios over here, boss man. We might have a couple more considering the amount of Dillon villain shirts that you're going to be buying after making all that money off of the game. Look, I want to continue to talk about Collin here before we hit a break and then get into some of the other big players from tonight. And with Collin, I don't want to just look at the offense, right? Because, yeah, 30 and 10 and the threes, the record-setting side of that, it deserves so much love. The fact that he's added to his mid-range game. But my Lord, his defense is so good. And it's so active all the time. 3 steals, including a big one in the backcourt and 2 big ones to kind of help spark this comeback. I thought he was going to be good this season. I never thought he'd be this good on both sides of the ball at the same damn time. It's ridiculous.
No, for sure. One of the ones that stood out to me, and you commented about it. I was going to make a joke because he was chatting with Cooper DeJean the other day, but like the anticipation he had when he jumped the pass lane like a safety and caught it, and I think it led to an assist for him. It's just like the instincts defensively. You talked about him being pesky, being a pest, and I don't think the wrap's on his hand anymore. So he's over the hand sprain. But one of the things that we talked about, we weren't really concerned about handling the ball and shooting and catching as much as we were about, is he going to go in and poke his hand in there and like be active and stuff like that? And he has. So like on top of all the things we talk about with his skill and his ability and his development, that's a tough dude. He is a tough player and he plays the game the right way. He's a dog. You know, I think that's the thing that you can't measure as far as what he brings to the table and what he brings to this team, and is a big part of why this team can rely on him the way that they do.
Yeah, I think most people know what my favorite college is. Shout out Sparty, shout out Izzo. Gillespie has, like, there's a certain toughness you have to last as a guard at Villanova.
Right.
If you know, you know, especially if you played under Jay Wright of all coaches.
Right.
There's a reason why he's turned so many guards into league-level talents. And it's because they all have a certain type of grit, a certain type of blue collar about their approach. I mean, there's a litter of them across the entire NBA right now, if you want to go ahead and look, from Collin Gillespie on the younger side of it to the older side of it, and Kyle Lowry, one of the toughest undersized guards to ever touch the hardwood, a certified Hall of Famer, and winner more than anything.
Right.
And I think all of those things, maybe not the Hall of Famer side, but winners and being blue collar while being undersized in certain respects, it's something that all of those guys share. They're all akin to each other with that. And I think that's just genuinely part of his DNA. And I think it matches so well with this team because the team also wears those qualities well.
I keep saying it, but they told you exactly what they wanted to put together this offseason. Matt Ishbia looked in the camera and told us all back in April, this is what Phoenix Suns basketball will be. Everybody blew it off. Came back up when Brian Gregory stepped to the podium. Everybody said, yeah, whatever. You said aligned way too many times. Jordan Ott steps to the podium, says the same thing. Everybody's like, yeah, this guy, who the hell is he? Well, guess what? You're all finding out now, and you're finding out in a big way. And Collin Gillespie is just yet another guy that is exactly the mindset that they wanted to play with, and we are, in fact, proud of what this team's bringing. But I do believe that you have something you want to give Boss Man before he passes out from the 6 trips to the liquor store.
So Boss Man here, so you missed it, but the award that we give out for every post-game show when we're in our studio is our Dude of the Night, presented by Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Of course, for the Suns, it went to Collin Gillespie, a record-setting night. But for us here, our secondary Dude of the Night is Boss man.
Yeah,
AKA
boss
The
man.
boss. Let's go. Shout out to the boss man. His stats for tonight: 50 chats sent, 1 Dillon Brooks shirt bought, and 4 trips to the liquor store, and unlimited vibes brought to the chat.
And made 5K, right?
And
Wasn't that
made
the other- Hey, look
5K
at that. All
betting
right.
Suns money line.
That's a big time night.
Look, oh man. AZ Master Baker with a $5 super
Hey,
chat
now.
says, love Collin on the after show saying he was offended by the drop coverage. Collin was talking shit tonight.
Oh, he was talking
That's
cash.
why, yeah.
He was
after
talking
this, after, I
cash.
think the second or third one, he was telling the Blazers bench, "Hey, I might want to step up on these pick and rolls because if y'all don't, I'm gonna keep coming off of them and I'm gonna keep letting this thing fly, and you're gonna have to keep getting it out the net."
And what did he do? He kept coming off. He kept
Exactly.
to the tune of 8 of them.
For sure.
A career high, tied in 3-pointers made with 8, a career high in points with 30. And maybe our love the play of the night. I'd like to debate that.
I
with
think
you
the
guys.
love the play is him telling them to step up,
Okay.
and him in fact not doing so, and him in fact tying a career high in threes made. By
Yes.
being the best player on the court.
Can we meet in the middle here?
Depends on what's the other.
Because
player
it
you're talking
includes a 3.
Mhm.
And I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, but I'm going to do it.
about. On the other side.
On the other side. Shut up. Oh, but don't. I don't even know. The official credit union of the Phoenix Suns. It's Mountain America Credit Union. Not only are they the exclusive home of the Suns card, but they have so many perks built for you. You can get these elite cards from the official credit union of the Suns. You can do a debit card with a MyStyle checking account that has extra benefits like telehealth access. You're going to need that after the trips to the liquor store, boss man, but also loan rate discounts, mobile phone protection, and so much more. Plus, there's no annual fee credit cards that are also available as low rate, cashback, or rewards cards options. At the end of the day, Mountain America Credit Union is here for you to guide you into your financial future. Look, you can get the card that Oso Iguodaro pulls out of his bag and puts out of his wallet, and probably the best acting I've ever seen in an athlete commercial with Oso. But
Get Mountain America Credit Union.
But you can get all of the perks that Oso also gets because they're going to treat you like they would treat anybody else. So they're insured by NCUA. Visit macu.com/Suns to learn more. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans on approved credit.
Eric, you and I have been in Vegas together before,
We
right?
have, yes.
It's a hell of a time, right?
It was a great time. I spilled my drink on a lady.
Well, but not on me, and that was
Accidentally.
all right.
I karate chopped it.
And you know what? You don't have to
got
go
all
5
over.
hours away from here or hop on a flight to enjoy that now. We can just go over to Gila River Resorts and Casinos. We can bring Gil and Steven. We all can have a damn good time because it's the Vegas residency, and Gila's introducing Vegas vibes to the Valley. You want Vegas vibes. You need Vegas vibes. And you know what? At 12:15 in the morning, you really want those Vegas vibes. So you can get, now through April, the Vegas residency at Gila River Resorts Casinos brings the energy, the attitude, the excitement of Vegas straight to you. And they're going to have exclusive concerts, extended DJ sets, showgirls, chef-driven dining, pop-up bars, and surprise cameos. Who will it be? We don't know. Plus, don't miss the fabulous Corvette giveaway and special perks for loyalty members. You bring you, they're going to bring Vegas. Only at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for the full calendar of events.
'Cause you bring you and you do you.
Yeah, you do you. You bring you, whatever you want to do.
The vibes are high. I think it's partially because we're delirious. I think it's partially because the Phoenix Suns had a comeback to victory 130-125 without Devin Booker, without Jalen Green, kind of without Dillon Brooks, like without their 3 best players that you would say going into the season that they would have. The Suns still pulled out a victory. I want to give a shout out to a couple people in chat. Obviously, besides the boss, big shout out to Kevin, who gave us a super chat earlier. Says, good night all, go Suns and go PHNX Sports for some best streaming Suns info.
Hell
and Egan, thank you. Says, you guys are awesome. I work overnight, so I appreciate y'all being on this late.
And Brendan Green wants me to buy him or her a Corvette. I'm sorry, but the missus gets it first.
Yeah, you can win one.
Get in line.
And Xavier Sell, Nino, you know better than talking about Michigan with me, man. Knock it off. Knock
Xavier's
it all the way
Xavier's been Jordan Goodwin.
I'm
all up in your grill.
I'm
all
salty.
day.
I'm salty after Friday though. I can't hold you so.
Oh man, I'll be salty if we don't get to 50K here.
Nice little BTA for gang, but we'll be all right though.
A nice little BTA for
It's early. It's early. It's early in conference play. We'll be back.
Hey, some shit the
early
last couple of weeks, man. It's been awesome. I love it. Look,
Here, live update. We are 301 away from 50K.
Can we get a couple more subscribers here tonight? Over 320 of you at past midnight. Espo has to be back here in 15 minutes to start being the GM and hosting Southwest Bias. Steven is saying BTA, little BTA for gang over the weekend. And
what does that stand for, Steven?
Belt to ass.
Oh, well, thank you.
Belt to ass. Look, and Gil will cry if you don't hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to
Don't make me cry.
We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers here. We're trying to do it by the end of this week. It would mean a lot, and the Suns community has just been so great in adding subscribers on our chase to 50K. Please continue that. It helps keep these lights on so we can have the multiple studios and that we can be on past midnight.
Wait, the chase to 50K is about our subscribers?
What did you think it was?
I thought it was you at negative 50K in our betting.
Oh!
Hey now!
Hey. The vibes were good. The vibes were good. The vibes are still good. I want to just ask, and Gil, I'll ask you first, if what I think is our Love to Play presented by our friends over at Arizona Lottery is everybody else's Love to Play. If you're over the age of 21, play and gift today. To me, in 15 seconds, Collin Gillespie had an assist to Oso Ighodaro, stole the ball after it was inbounds, and then pump faked Shaedon Sharpe, who literally jumped through the roof past him, and then hit one of his career high 8 3-pointers after that. That is a assist, a steal, and a 3, all under 15 seconds. Am I correct in assessing that is our Love to Play of the game?
No.
I asked Gil.
No. Well, Gil, go ahead.
I was gonna say it got my vote,
And
but I
that's why I
couldn't
asked
even.
you.
I mean, you can give it. You can give your vote.
But it's, I
You
mean,
can be
everybody
wrong.
has a vote. Go ahead.
No,
I mean,
the play.
I might change my mind.
The play of the game was post game when Mark was getting interviewed, and Collin runs up, and Amanda tries to say you had a career high, and he's like, I don't care. This man had 24.
That was his 11th assist of the night.
And that is alignment.
Yeah,
You said no too, Steven.
I did say no.
You probably had a basketball play though in mind.
I did. It's Jordan Goodwin, man. Jordan Goodwin.
Okay.
Guards 4
That's
Portland
true, yeah.
Trailblazers in 12 seconds. Stops the ball on 3 of those 4 guys. Then comes up with a steal at a timely moment for this team as they're trying to sustain on the comeback. I think that part matters because the defense is what got them back into this game because it just, I mean, you give up 40 points to any team in the first quarter. For this team, that means they haven't shown up yet. They don't get back to sustaining with the lead and then winning it without that. That's it for me. I'm not mad at that Collin sequence being it. I don't think it's that one if it's going to be one from Collin, though. I think it's the multiple possessions in a row playing 2-man with Oso and getting a different result out of each and every one of those reps. But there's no wrong answer from either of the 3 or 4 instances that we talked about because that last one you mentioned speaks a lot to this team's chemistry.
One more.
I gotta say, I love that Steven goes straight to the defensive end
course.
and the gritty.
Dude,
Like,
you see
I
his
love
face?
that.
Like he has Jordan Ott's smile when Steven asks a question whenever he talks about Jordan Goodwin.
I think I'm that way when I talk about defense in general, and naturally
Bro, but
Jordan
Jordan
is
Goodwin's
aligned directly with that because he
different.
just never does anything less than be the biggest pest on defense.
Steven's kink is defense, is what we've learned at 12:20
what's your
a.m.
The other one I was going to say was got a little treacherous at the end. And again, I said this before the game. So I said Jeremy Grant's going to have a random Jeremy Grant night. And that he did. When he cut to 4, Grayson Allen with that step back, lost it a little bit, and put the Suns back up by 7 with what? 55
And
seconds
that
left.
also hit your bet, right?
It made it safe because I was worried about stat correct getting me on an assist. But when I got that 3, I was like, oh, we're good. I got to stat correct that 3. I dare you.
But that turned out bigger than we thought too. Right? That got tighter.
Exactly.
That was a lot of, you clenched a little bit there at the end.
Wow, Aiden with breaking news in the chat says Collin Gillespie, you are White Boy of the Year. What the hell, man? Was I at least nominated? What the hell?
You're the opaque boy of the year.
Wasn't it Anthony Edwards that gave that award out?
Yeah,
I think he's
Timothy
won
Shelby.
it. I think he's won
We
it
gotta
now
give, like,
because
we can do an Arizona-based White Boy of the Year.
But he has to acknowledge him.
McBride.
He had to acknowledge him enough to not say his name after he did what he did to them. So I think he has to be that guy going into the next year.
Okay, so Arizona White Boy of the Year nominees. Me and Espo are in there.
I'm white old man. I don't qualify.
We have Trey McBride. Okay. Collin Gillespie, Corbin Carroll, and Kenny Dillon.
There you
Those
go.
are the 6
It's
nominees for
giant
Arizona.
tie, all right?
Wait, Jordan Ott.
That's-
Oh, yeah.
So that's 7.
It's the year of the white boy in Phoenix, apparently.
As Chet Hanks would say, it's white boy summer, but apparently it's in the winter.
In the winter.
All right, let's get off of this.
White boy winter has a nice little ring to it.
That is true. It does have a ring.
Whiter than snow out here in
Okay,
Phoenix. Not that
so
we know about it.
Back to basketball. Here you go, Steven. Back to basketball.
Oh, thank you.
So obviously, you talk about Jordan Goodwin, right? You talk about Jordan Goodwin.
Yeah.
And then that's what brings up the moment where Collin's giving Mark Williams flowers and Mark Williams talking post-game. And I would say that if we had to go between a couple blue-collar boys, Grayson, Mark, and Jordan Goodwin would be our nominees. Of course, at the end of the day, Steven, you can go ahead and smile because our blue-collar boy of the night is the ultimate blue-collar boy. It's Jordan Goodwin. A double-double party wouldn't be complete without a goodie bar because he had 16 points, 10 rebounds, was 6 of 9 from the field. Was 6 of 9 from the field. Was 6 of 9.
Nice!
There we go. Nice. 2 assists and hey, by the way, 5 steals. Just 5 steals. Just
Casual
5.
5.
Just 5 steals.
Casual.
5 steals. That's it. That's it for Jordan Goodwin in just 23 minutes. Completely changed the anatomy of this game, Gil. It was a classic Jordan Goodwin experience.
Right, absolutely. 5 offensive boards, kind of as you outlined already. Also 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. So, we talked about it some time. He's streaky from beyond the arc, but he always shoots himself out of that. So it's like everything he does, the winning plays in all facets of the game is the coolest thing about him. And I think that, again, we say it time and time again, what he means for that second unit, for that group, especially in a game like tonight where the team needed a shot in the arm after coming out a little flat. And also the Blazers came out really hot. But the fact that he was that guy that gave that energy and injected life and allowed the game to kind of turn around, a lot of that stuff doesn't even show on the stat sheet. Like there's so many other things that you can't even count, like switching 4 times on one possession. And it's just an awesome player, awesome culture player for this team. And he sets an example for everybody else around him.
Jordan is a revelation for a team that's needed players that are cut from that cloth that he's cut from and that wear the qualities that he wears on a consistent basis. It's not, I got it today, I ain't got it today. Whether he knocks down, it's 8 threes, or he knocks down 1 3, or he knocks down none, and it's 0 for 5 or 6. One thing you don't have to question is his effort on defense and the impact that comes with that effort. And it's not always just him, but sometimes he comes in and he puts a spark in the other 4 guys on the floor with him, and he raises the entire level of activity and the entire level of impact for the team on that end of the floor. And again, I keep saying that this team is at their best when they're working on that end of the floor and it springboards them into their offense. Jordan Goodwin is one of the biggest culprits of why their defense often sets the table for their offense. 25 points off turnovers. He had 5 steals. You can easily do the math yourself on those. When they get to 25 points off turnovers or more, they're 11-4 this season. They have 15 games where they've gotten 25 or more points off turnovers this season. It's ridiculous, and he's a big piece in why they're so consistently one of the best and highest rate turnover teams defensively.
To echo Sean in the chat, I just want to say thank you to Clutch Sports and LeBron James and the Lakers organization for wanting Bronny James there and allowing Jordan Goodwin to come here to the Valley because, Papa, may you please cut Jordan Goodwin to keep me on the roster? Thank you so much for doing it because it has made our lives so much better here in Phoenix.
Jordan Goodwin saved my life. Not just tonight, but this whole season. Because it's also the plays that don't show up on the stat sheet. It's also like we talk about Dillon Brooks's impact beyond the stats, and you've mentioned so many times, Steven, that it's like he's like the Dillon Brooks of the bench. And the moments that he knows when to hit shots, and there are games where he scores 2 points, and I feel like he's just as effective as he was tonight, where he scored 16. But he wasn't the only guy who I feel like was in contention for our blue-collar boy, and certainly not the only reason why the Suns came back tonight. Gil, you brought up the fact that coming into tonight, Portland, who had lost 5 straight, had a couple of big performances against them from the center position.
Yep.
Right? And you were looking at Mark Williams. You said, well, okay, Mark, tonight might be your night to repay that. And I'll be honest, it was kind of a rough start.
It was.
For Mark Williams, because if the Suns lost this game, I would have started off by talking about Donovan Clingan, or as Tom Chambers called him Klingon.
Klingon.
Big Star Trek fan.
Hitting his career high, tie his career high in 3-pointers made in the first 3 minutes of the game. And obviously he also grabbed 15 boards tonight. But Mark Williams did bounce back through the rest of the game. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 11 of 14 from the field in just 26 minutes. Were you impressed by the fact that he was able to bounce back against such a big body, which is traditionally a center that he struggled with tonight?
Absolutely. First thing I'll point out is that Donovan Klingon, or Klingon, depending on who you are, was 3 of 3 from 3 in the first quarter and 4 of 5 from the field in the first quarter. He finished the game 3 of 4 from 3 and 4 of 7 from the field. Didn't make another field goal in the final 3 quarters of the game.
Oops.
And Mark, one thing that we talked about getting him involved based on what other bigs have been able to do against this Trailblazers team was his motor, his activity, and just outworking his matchup. And that's exactly what he did. He outlasted him. I think I used that word during the game. Finished at 24 and 12, 7 of those boards on the offensive end. And he outworked Donovan Klingon or whoever it was that he was on the court with. And I think that is so gratifying and good to see from him, especially bouncing back after having a couple of rough showings and a rough start to tonight's game. He just kept going and kept going. And I think the biggest thing is he can continue to do that and outlast guys and find those ways. The pick and roll angles we talked about, diving and playing off of other people's creation and just taking up space, especially when you're being guarded by somebody who gets in to help so much. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the rim pressure and getting those paint touches from the drive. And him just being in the right spot and playing those angles is really good. And this is a good example and proof of what he can do on a night-to-night basis. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Mark is finding a rhythm in this time where Devin has unfortunately had to exit the rotation because there's been more of an emphasis for the Suns to find him on the rolls. Key number 3 for tonight's game was get Mark involved because Klingon plays a drop coverage. Drop coverage enables opportunity for pull-up threes. But the other part, the more important part for the Suns, is that it enables opportunity to kind of more naturally get Mark involved in the game, whether you come off of a screen, force a switch, and now Mark is rolling down into a guard. We can just put it up like it's Randy Moss in the end zone, put it in the air, let him go get it. He catches high, keep it high, and then works into the finish. Or on a natural roll, you come off the screen, engage the big, and now you can hit him with a pocket pass, and he does what he does within that advantage. When the Suns do see drop coverage, they have to take advantage of it because Devin just hardly ever sees it. Jalen's going to see it, but it's going to look different than the drop covers that someone like Collin would see tonight. And I think them finding these pockets intentionally to involve him trickles into his defense. You can get lost in the weeds as a player if you don't touch the ball for multiple possessions, but you're setting screens and you're really just kind of helping the offense flow. But when you actually touch the basketball, it gets you involved in a very different way. And I feel like Mark, his activity got better over the course of the game because they started finding him on offense. Now you see him starting to get closer to Klingon on the defensive end and really kind of shutting that water off.
Mark Williams also is doing this after last game. We didn't mention this on the post-game show. He surpassed his career high for total games played in one season with his 45th game played. This is his 46th game played. And somebody mentioned with Collin earlier in the chat, because Collin had kind of gone through, not a rough spell, but just kind of a dip in his play. Mark has as well. These are two guys that are now playing more than they've ever played in their career, and there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period for them. Now, I do believe that there are still some struggles with the way that Mark plays, especially against bigger, tougher players, not just centers, but strong people going right at his chest. I think he dropped a little bit of weight in this offseason to help stay healthy. I don't think he's as built to handle these bigger, bruising players, but still was able to grab 6 offensive rebounds tonight and just battled, right? And when you have a player like that and a center like that who always gives consistent effort, his flaws will not show up as much as some other ones who don't have as many flaws but don't have that consistent effort. And I think the team around him is really grateful for that. It's why everybody on this team gets along, because they all have that motor, but it's very rare that somebody of the size and stature of Mark Williams has that so consistently, especially considering the injury history, how much he has to trust his body to be jumping up as high as he is to finish lobs, to block shots, to go for loose balls, which are all things that he does on a consistent basis. He's been good this year. He has not been perfect, but I do think that he has had some really great highs from the center position that we have not seen since DeAndre Ayton was on this roster.
Was he 24? I mean, this is a guy that's still figuring out his game, especially with the amount of games that he's missed early in his career. And in these games against bigger guys, that are a little less fleet of foot, he goes out there, uses his athleticism, he uses his intelligence and his speed to find ways to score and outdo them. Sure, it took him a little while to find his footing this early in the game. I almost said this morning.
Pretty much
early, it is now, but early in the game. And then he just outworked him, outsmarted him, like you were saying, Eric.
I think the other part for Mark this season that I want to shine some light on is him being challenged to operate differently in terms of preparation. Having a hashtag plan that your training staff is having you work with, even though mentally and physically you feel great and you feel fine, that can mess with some guys if you're not approaching it with a certain type of buy-in. If you're meeting that with resistance, you're going to get the same results. That's what was been injury plagued for a majority of his career. This season, he buys into the 20 minutes, the 15 minutes, the not playing the tail end of back-to-back games, and all of those things that they had in process for him to get to the point now where he's consistently playing those games, hasn't missed a game in quite some time now, and his impact, though it's kind of been up and down at times, he's been available, which is the number one thing we talked about. If he was available for half of the games this season, that was a win for both him and the Suns. I feel like him already playing more games than any season in his career so far says a lot to that buy-in, and we continue to see the best version of him because of the availability more than anything else.
It says a lot. I know the medical staff gets some crap because of Jalen's injury stuff from the past, but their plan to get Mark Williams where he is worked to perfection. So got to give them credit on that front.
Yeah, Mark Williams was great tonight. There are a lot of great performances tonight. There's a lot of great super chats that we're still going to get into. It might be 12:30, and Southwest Bias might start in 5 minutes, but we're going to keep on rolling here on the other side of our final break. We're having fun, but of course, it's a big week for football fans, and the wait is over. The Super Bowl is here, and playoff football is in action. You've got a big boost for the Super Bowl, plus they're going to let you bet, of course, on all of the fun stuff as well. I want to talk about football because maybe I haven't been doing too great on our basketball betting.
Yeah, good luck with the football ones.
That's not my fault. I mean, that is my fault. That's not Bet365's fault. And right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets if you bet $5, win or lose. I wish I was a new customer. Sign up, use code PHNX365, deposit 10, place a bet for 5, get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. I know the boss did it in chat. Bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You must be 21 plus, physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Text NEXT-STEP to 52342 or visit promgambling.az.gov.
You know when I get my craziest and best ideas? In the shower. But second, I get them after midnight, and usually they're business ideas.
Glad we're hitting one of those two right now.
Yeah, right. So if you've got a dream, if you've been thinking about a business that you want to start, an online business, I got the place for you to go. Steven, I know that you want to sell those knitted, figurines that you make. You've told me about those. Gil, I know that you have those hand-painted blown glass
damn, I really gotta get to know y'all better.
And Eric, I don't know what you want to sell, but if you got something, you can do it with Shopify because it's that time of night. Shopify is the e-commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. And PHNX's merch store is actually there as well. So Shopify has got you covered with website creation, product descriptions, email, social marketing, and more. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn your business idea into that cha-ching with Shopify on your side. Sign up for $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity. Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. Let's check in with some of our cha-ching over here on the PHNX Suns post-game show. Of course, brought to you by friends over at Bet365. Of course, we hit 49.7K subscribers. We were less than 300 away from 50K. And it's all thanks to the boss. Okay, we got Kevin's done. Let's go ahead and get to Miss Melissa, celebrating 3 months of membership. The second biggest Bulls fan involved with this show right now, besides the guy.
Biggest. It don't get no bigger than her.
I think it's her. I think it's Tracy, and then we don't have a third.
And then it's
Bulls
Steven.
fan.
No, it's not.
It's Steven.
No, it's not.
Stop spreading the rumors.
Not. Stop the lie.
She says, shout out to the squad for holding us down for the pre-post game and the watch along. Suns find a way to grind out another W. Don't forget to hit these likes.
Shout out my lady.
Shout out to your lady, and shout out
1:30 in the morning for her.
Oh, she sleep now.
Okay.
She just dropped in for that.
She said, "Y'all got it." She texted me like, "Y'all got it."
shout out to you, Steven. I saw right before we went live here, you dunking on a fool on Twitter who said the game was already over, and you just told them, "I can't believe y'all keep doing this with this team. Just watch the games, man."
I've been trying to tell y'all, just watch the games, bro. Everybody want to jump to conclusions, and y'all just keep throwing yourselves out there. Keep throwing it off the backboard.
Sorry, I took my sunglasses off because they asked to see my eyes, and then that hurt my head.
Steven posterization is.
Oh, dude, Steven dunking on people on Twitter.
I usually let people talk crazy.
I know you.
I don't usually respond.
You're used to it on the spot.
Yes.
Anthony Daniel with a $4.99 super chat says, "What the heck's going on with Ryan and his minutes? Goes 2 of 3 from 3 in key moments and gets 9 minutes." Nothing.
I mean, maybe he'll get 12 next game because he played so well in tonight's game in his 9 minutes.
So I was gonna say, kind of progressively earn it back, right? Like it doesn't just come all the way back at once. We've talked a lot about how it's dwindled down. Had some good moments tonight. We always talk about hang on to those good moments. Next game, add another good moment to that. Maybe he can get back to his typical workload if he can continue to build on this.
I gotta stop being so quick to write guys off.
Yeah, killer.
I think skill development.
Sorry, I had something stuck in my throat.
Skill development is not something that just hits and sustains. It's something that comes and goes. It ebbs and flows. That's why guys take a while to find their footing on the league level, especially if, for one, you don't have a true, like, as Jordan Knott calls it, like super skill that you have. Ryan's defense is solid, but it's not like all NBA level. So he's just trying to find ways to fill gaps right now. And I think he's being intentional about finding those moments. He had a couple moments tonight. He's had a few moments over the last handful of games, but to Gil's point, it's about finding that midline between the peaks and the valleys and just kind of finding a way to sustain. I think there's going to be minutes for him to get with this team because they need the size and they need the multiple efforts that he provides, but they also need the defense because for all intents and purposes, we talk about Jordan Goodwin and Dillon Brooks. He has to be that third best point of attack guy. He can't allow for that guy to be Collin. That's the kind of inner squad competition that they should be having. If his defense is hidden to that extent, he can be playable. He can't not be playing to that impactful level defense without having that part involved with everything.
I mean, look, Ryan's had a disappointing season, I think, this year, and honestly, with
I don't want to say.
I expected him to be a starter.
I'll say he's left some to be desired. I'm not going to say disappointing.
I mean, he's losing minutes, and that's the thing is he's lost minutes. He went from a starter to he's getting less than 10 minutes per game now.
Sure.
I still believe in Ryan Dunn, but I also call on a spade from my perspective. I've been disappointed with his play this season, but that doesn't mean that A, I don't think that he can get better, and B, that the Suns don't win this game tonight without Ryan Dunn's 9 minutes. And Gil, you can speak to kind of this confidence thing when it comes to playing. There is such a thing as giving somebody too much time after they build up that confidence. Like if, let's say Ryan played 15 minutes tonight and then he misses his next 2 threes versus now he's got 9 minutes. He went 2 of 2 from deep. He had good sustained minutes that helped them win this game. That might be better for his confidence than logging 12 or 13 and ending on a couple of misses.
Right. That's something we talked about so much, especially you and I, Espo, as far as just like when you're coming from this position and like you're playing in a sense, you keep looking over your shoulder. And you're like, oh, man. So, like, to go back out there, and I think the biggest thing, especially for young players, play the game. Don't think the game. Mm-hmm. And when you're playing the game, a lot of that ties in with your confidence. If you're playing freely and playing confidently, then you do the things that you naturally do well. And you're in the NBA for a reason because you have things that you do well naturally. So, I think it's big to your point, Eric, that you were making is just that, listen, he can go out there and play confidently and bottle that, right? And then build on that again, kind of gradually move forward. And I'm sure, I don't know what you saw from him tonight, but as far as just the fact that he was doing some of the things that kind of got him to this point or made us believe in him beforehand.
I mean, that kind of falling sideways 3 that he hit, the second one he hit, I don't think I've ever seen that from him, but so I'll take that. I think it starts on the defensive end. Right. Focus there. Do those things that you do well. build that confidence back there, and then it'll lead into other things like hitting threes. Energy will find its way, and I think he just needs to focus on, let me be that guy on the defensive end. Let me do those things, and that'll keep his minutes and increase them if he's doing that. You can be okay with a few missed threes if you're putting forth the defensive effort and being that guy that he's showing the ability to be. Now, we'll see if he gets that back and continues to get minutes.
Can I give an anti-blue collar boy of the night? And it's not to a Suns player. It's not to any player, actually. It's to Killer Rex. Because Killer Rex, who, by the way, is in every single stream, all the Diamondback streams, just dropped in the chat that he's not subbed. Because Steven won't acknowledge him.
Why am I going to acknowledge trolling and nonsense? That's not how you. That's not the type of attention you.
Bro,
that counts as an acknowledgement. Hit the subscribe button.
That's fair. It is, but that's just crazy to me. That how can you watch every show and not be subscribed? That's even if you disagree with us. That's crazy to me. Who are you going to have to disagree with if you're not subscribed and we don't stay with the lights on here? Killer Rex. No, you shouldn't ban him, Freckled Mamba. It's fine. I just want to say anti-blue collar boy of the night to Killer X. Okay, let's go back to Super Chat.
Come on, you gotta admit the insane hustle.
Yeah, he is stubborn, and I'll give him credit for that. He's stubborn. We read the one from Master Baker, but thank you again, AZ Master Baker.
I heard he's a great glazer.
Yeah, great glazing from the Master Baker. Monstanic 22 with a $5 super chat says, with how well the Suns and Coach Ott have been with making adjustments throughout the season, what teams can you see beating them in a 7-game series? OKC.
I say OKC, I say Denver, and I say Houston.
Potentially.
Houston with the injuries, specifically to Steven Adams.
Still got Şengün.
Yeah.
They still got Capella. They still have Kevin Wayne Durant.
That's fair. I can see that one. Like, I think that's one of those toss up. Probably they play it 10 times, they probably get you 7 out of 10 times, but there are a couple outcomes in which it would go in your favor. But
I mean, I could see a lot of
3
teams.
out of 10.
I can see a lot of teams beating the Suns. I don't think the Suns are some impenetrable force in the West. I could see them losing to the Timberwolves in a 7-game series. I could see them losing to the Spurs. Anybody that makes the playoffs, I think the Suns could certainly be a first-round exit, which, again, some people are going to start freaking out about that, which I don't get. But
if you said they were a bit, if not you, but if you that was talking about, I don't know how this team is going to win 30 games, are panicking about this team being firmly in the playoffs,
right,
and losing in the first round, you got to plant a flag somewhere. You moving the goalposts all over the place.
Everybody in my mentions freaking out oh, this team isn't perfect. I'm like, no shit. Of course they're not perfect, but they're still really good tonight. But I mean, Espo, I'm going to say that a lot of teams could beat them. And I'll say this, they can beat a lot of teams.
Well,
we know they're not going to be an easy out for whoever their first round opponent could be. They still have work to do to finish inside the top 6, but they're not going to be an easy out for anybody.
I don't think there's any team that would sweep them, and I'll include OKC in that because we've seen them be able to beat OKC. Now that's probably the one that might, if everything went right. But this team, Jordan Ott's approach to things, you're going to, at bare minimum, win a game in a series and likely multiple games. And once you get out of OKC, Denver, probably Houston, like you said, I think you have a chance against anybody else.
Barring any trades.
Yes. Yeah. As of this exact moment.
Yes.
Because I don't know what's going to happen by the time we wake up in an hour and a half.
So. Well, I'll tell you what's happening right now. Riddle, we're going to get to your super chats in a second. I'm sorry, but when the king comes back to his court, the jesters have to acknowledge them. Be calm, see clearly with a $5 super chat. No mic for Ayrton, so you know what that means, Gil.
$5 super chat from Be Calm.
Oh, they're so wet right now.
Jesus.
It is 12:45 a.m. Wow.
Tell me I'm wrong, Be Calm, see clearly.
Damn glazer.
As I was saying, $5 super chat from Be Calm, see clearly. Welcome back. I need Booker to come back. I missed the snatch. Got me all oily and ready. By the way, Seahawks, boom. Sunday snatch, they sold all Suns up. 100 snatch. Again, welcome back.
All it took was being live at 2:45 local time for Be Calm, see clearly to get Be Calm back on the boat. We love that. Thank you, Be Calm.
Be Calm said it's 2:44 a.m. there.
And I'm rolling with you on Sunday too, Be Calm.
All right. Couple more super chats.
Shout out
So's
Mike
book.
McDonald. Former Ravens.
Book's rolling with you too. 499 super chat
Come rub it.
says Brooks struggled, but Goodwin set the tone with 5 steals. Gillespie poured in 30, and Williams cleaned up misses with pure hustle at the rim. Riddle, who's always consistent with the super chats, thank you so much, Riddle, says Dillon the villain and Collin Gillespie the ghost mode. Fast, hits threes, barely noticed until it's over.
I like that.
That ghost mode's fire.
I like that.
So they called me in high school. Speaking of Dillon the villain, we have a new shirt for those of you who stand up late. You're psychos. You're sickos. You want this shirt. You can get it at the locker right now. Brand new villain shirt. If you're listening on audio, you got to go check this out at gophnx.com and then click the merch tab. It is available and live right now for you to buy. Please buy it, because if you do, then we can make more shirts, like blue collar shirts and Jordan Knott shirts, maybe a Devin Booker shirt that says come rub it, but only if you buy this shirt. Okay, so let's round things out here. We're not going to go past an hour because, again, Espo has to get live for Southwest Bias. The producer's already waiting for him.
Is it you, Ayrton, tomorrow? No?
No.
Oh, I'm the only one in my own personal hell. All right.
Grayson Allen.
Yes, let's talk about
Go ahead, Steven.
Grayson Allen. So Eric, remind me of how many threes did he knock down in today's game?
Tonight, he was 6 of 11 from deep.
Correct. How many assists did he have? 2, right?
He had 4 assists.
4 assists?
Don't
Okay.
sleep.
No, excuse me. I want to pay close attention again to him being able to initiate offense for this team. I say these reps matter even in games like this one where there's no Jalen and there's no Devin, because guess who's initiating a lot of the offense when it matters most? Those final 2 possessions that really put the game away is Grayson Allen operating in the capacity that we've seen Jalen Green operate in, as well as Devin Booker. He's receiving these matchup hunting small screens from Royce O'Neal to get the preferred matchup. The Waldos is what I call them. This game, it was Shaden Sharp. Says, come here, Shaden. You're going to have to guard. Grayson gets past Shaden on one play. Should have gotten an assist to Mark Williams. I don't know why they didn't call it that, but Mark was able to put the 2 down. And then the very next possession, he comes down and, like Gil spoke to, hits the step back 3 after attacking the space that Shaden Sharp is trying to hold. Step back, knocks down a 3. Essentially ices the game with that 3-point shot. Grayson having that ability to attack switches this season is very important, because that's been subtly one of the things that this Suns team has been met with some consistent resistance with. The better teams, the better defenses can do that in different capacities. Obviously, a team like Oklahoma City. So you imagine you get to a playoff situation and you're going against one of those teams. It can't just be Devin save us, Jalen save us, Dillon save us. Oklahoma City won the finals last year because they had multiple guys that could put the ball on the deck and win a one-on-one matchup, even if it's just a paint touch. Grayson's been growing into that role, and I think these reps kind of culminate in what his skill development has been.
I was going to say, actually, you said 4 assists. The stat correction got it. So I refreshed the box score.
Okay.
Grayson's up to 4 assists. They took a rebound away from Mark. So all is good now. He got his dime for that lob. But one thing I mentioned when we were talking about it, and like just Grayson's like mentality that we see through a lot of these players, he missed 4 of his first 5 threes.
Yeah.
Second half, he was 5 of 6
Yeah.
from behind the arc. You know what I mean? So I think like just shooting through it, and like it was the same looks. I think for him, it's just like, oh, I got a good look. I'll hit the next one. And stepping up and hitting the next one. This team doesn't get far if guys like that who you're relying on so heavily aren't playing with that level of confidence. And I really hope that the younger players are watching their vets, like a Ryan Dunn, right? Like seeing guys like that play through struggles and also recognize that, hey, my shot might not be falling, but that's not going to impact the way I play defensively or the way that I'm communicating on the floor or the way that I'm trying to set people up, and just my presence overall isn't dependent fully on my ability to make shots, because ultimately it is a make or miss league, as cliche as that is. So to see guys play like that and play through perceived struggles or what have you is, again, another like trademark of this team.
Grayson Allen and Collin Gillespie tonight combined for 54 points, 19 of 34 from the field, 14 of 25 from deep, 5 rebounds, 14 assists, and 4 steals. One of, if not both of those will be coming off of the Phoenix Suns bench when fully healthy.
Which is mind-blowing.
I think it's pretty good.
We're good.
They continue to, and this team just won their 31st game. This team was picked to win 31 games as their over-under, in which multiple people, locally, not locally, everybody took the under on this team.
Suck it, Zach Lowe. Suck it, Bill Simmons. Suck it, the other guy that you bring
House
in.
was there. I think House took the over, or at least he showed love and then took the under.
I don't care. You were all wrong.
Yeah, and shout out to
while we shouting them out, we can also tell them, feel free to hop on the show and we can talk about the apology part of that.
Stop running.
But
get an apology for
come talk.
We need to work on that.
Come talk some basketball. Now we got actual tangible games to speak on.
How are they going to play defense, Steven? That's the question.
My response is Jordan Goodwin, Dillon Brooks. The disrespect to say a Dillon Brooks team is not going to play defense
shirt so we can make a Jordan Goodwin shirt for Steven.
I will
crazy work.
I will say this: Zach Lowe did admit the error of his ways. Basically told Matt Ishbia, you have the right to dunk on me right now. So Zach Lowe, you are fine. Bill Simmons, we got beef.
But Zach Lowe, like I said, hey Zach, it's me, longtime supporter. You should come on our show and talk to us about what you've seen change about the defense. It's one thing to just admit you're wrong. Let's talk about that why that's more important than anything.
You heard him. He called you out. Clip it, Ayrton.
I mean that with all the respect. I just want to talk.
Cut that part out so he actually responds.
No respect. That's what he said.
No respect.
No either.
The Phoenix Suns are 31-20. They are over 500 on the road after their win tonight. We are almost at the All-Star break. Jalen Green has played like 3 minutes. Devin Booker has missed 2 stretches of time, including right now. And even after Dillon Brooks wins Western Conference Player of the Week, Jordan Ott wins Western Conference Coach of the Month, it was not Dillon Brooks tonight that stepped up. It was 3 other starters scoring at least 24 points and then 16 points coming off the bench from Jordan Goodwin. Just an all-around incredible basketball team that we're all lucky to talk about. And we're all lucky that we'll be back here at 3 o'clock talking about, well, should they make any changes to this incredible basketball team? We're going to do an entire trade deadline primer at 3 o'clock today. And then we'll be back the next day from 12 to 1 local time, basically an hour before the trade deadline is over. We are going to go live, react to all the late trades, talk about everything that's happened, and especially if the Phoenix Suns do something and we're not already live, we will be doing a breaking news podcast, and then we'll be live again Thursday night, pregame, postgame for Suns Warriors. We just don't stop. That's why you got to subscribe, because you never know what you might get with PHNX Suns. The PHNX Cardinals crew is out at Super Bowl. Of course, it's the offseason for ASU football. We're still chugging over there. U of A, I'm not even going to mention how good their basketball team is, but of course, great coverage from Damon and Kevin. Espo's got you covered on Southwest Bias. D-back season is getting closer. You got to subscribe to make sure that you are tuned in with everything and follow the show. Dropping banger memes as always. Shout out to CJ for helping out with some of those in the chat today.
Braden, I love you too, all right?
Let him know that you love him.
Braden, we love you. Thanks.
No, say I love you.
Braden, love you.
Say I love you.
I want to go home. All right?
Say I love you.
Braden, I love you.
You can follow the show at PHNX_Suns. You're welcome, Braden. Follow the Freckle Mamba.
I feel like he's trying to get my voice and he's going to use
there's already enough of it, man. We're screwed anyway. Follow the Freckled Mamba at Freckled Mamba. You can follow Steven at StevenPG3. That's Steven with the PH because he balances us out and he loves Jordan Goodwin. You can follow Espo at Espo. Catch him on Southwest Bias right about now. You can follow Gil at Gil McGregor _. You can follow me at ERIKRUBY. All right, let's get out of here so Espo can go to bed.
Oh,
We all silly like the mayor.